Want to take a vacation but don't know how to plan it? How do you find the best credit card for getting miles? How early should you begin planning? Are the airport elite clubs worth the money? If you have questions, we have answers. This is Asistuhbegoingplaces, the podcast that helps you make better travel decisions, save money, and enjoy your excursions. Co-hosts Vicky Young and Tyrone Griffin answer travel-related questions and give tips on how to make vacations more enjoyable and more budget-friendly by using simple planning techniques. Neither of the co-hosts are paid travel professionals, but they love to travel and have developed tips and strategies they want to share. The best vacations are when you enjoy your activities and don't feel like you got ripped off. If you have a travel-related question, you can send it to asistuhbegoingplaces@gmail.com or post it on the Facebook page, Asistuhbegoingplaces, and they'll try to give you a well-thought-out answer on an upcoming show. And if you like the show, please leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
There she is. There's Dorothy. Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Everybody tuning in first. This is my co-host, Vicky Young. This is our first international show. Okay, we are in 3 countries. We are in Atlanta, or America. We are in Turks and Caicos. Now,
Yes, it's beautiful here too. It is absolutely gorgeous here.
hey, you look fly. Now, before we get
Thank
into
you.
the show, the first thing, what did we learn today? If you
Oh my God.
Wait. If you're going to travel with Vicky, you got to come to the airport fly.
No.
Yeah. Look, okay, everybody who's watching, she didn't just put that on for the show. Homegirl, I was watching on Facebook. Homegirl been flying in the airport. Oh yeah. So the first thing we learned today, if you're gonna travel with Vicky, you got to come to the airport. All right. How was your trip? Before we get into the show, how was it?
My trip was good. I only have one complaint, and it was really my fault. And we can go into that after you do the introduction on what this show is actually about. But all in all, the trip was good. We had a safe flight. Flew in and just saw how beautiful the island is from, the plane. And it's nice. The people have been extremely nice. And so I'm just ready to just engross in the beach and all that other stuff. So
yeah, we had that conversation. Now I got to go to the beach. Let's get this done. Well, you already opened it up. Today's show is about vacation mistakes.
Yes.
So let's start out. Since you flew 1,100 miles, because I did Google it, 1,100 miles today to be on this show, and we truly appreciate it. So tell me, what did you learn? What happened today?
Oh my God. Okay. I actually knew better. Everything went great. I landed, I got the shuttle to the rental car place because I rented a car from Avis. And I get there and I knew better. And it's my fault. I get to the counter and I'm getting ready to get my car. And the guy said, "Can I get your ID and credit card?" So I hand him my driver's license and my American Express. And he hands it back to me and he says, "We don't take American Express." I'm like,
Wait. The heavy one?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to ask. Okay.
He said, "We don't take American Express." I'm like, "What do you mean you don't take American Express?" And that was my fault because I should have asked. And because I asked about everything else, I knew that they were going to hold a $500 retainer for the car. And I knew that I was going to be driving on the wrong side of the road. I knew all of that stuff because I asked those questions, but I just Amex never came up. And so I only brought my Amex and I brought a debit card because I figured I'll use Amex for everything in my debit card for just emergency cash. So he's like, no. And I said, okay, I got to use my debit card. And he was like, okay, it's going to still be $500 and you have to purchase our insurance because you're using a debit card. Yes. I said, but I have insurance. He was like, no, it doesn't matter. So those are things I should have checked prior to getting here. I thank God that I'm in a position where I could use my debit card for them to hold $500, and because that would be messed up if you're just not prepared for something like that. So that was yeah. And then and then I get to the room and my safe doesn't work, because what I do is, as soon as I get it, I check in, I put my passport, I put all of that stuff in the safe. And I get here and we were talking about the car. She says, what happened? We were expecting you earlier. I told her I got lost and all that stuff, and how you guys don't take Amex. She said, well, this is not America. I said, oh, okay.
Okay, you see that? You remember that meme when the dude say something, everybody's like, oh, snap.
That was it.
That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay.
Yes, I was just like, okay, you right. You're absolutely right.
You dropped that heavy card on the floor, and they look at it like, what's that?
And she was just like, it's just too expensive to have. Because I guess the fees and stuff that Amex charge on the back end for, a business or something,
right.
She said it was just too expensive. But again, that was a mistake that I should have researched prior to getting here. So that's all that has happened today thus far.
Thus far. You find out the whole island don't nobody take that American Express, man.
Nobody. She told me, like, she just said, none of the restaurants are taking them. And I was like, oh, wow. Then I was thinking, but I want the miles.
So you so crazy. I'm sorry for laughing, but that's funny.
That's funny. But again, that's why it's important to do your research. It's really important. Even those things that you think is just, I'm assuming if they take it in Cancun or if they take it in Europe, they will take it here. And you can't assume that. And that's where because I knew better, but I just didn't do it because I assumed that they would take it. And I was wrong. Extremely wrong.
Must have not that discovered. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no,
and and I don't take I don't travel with a bunch of cards. Right. I take one card and my debit card, period, and my driver's license. That's it, because if I lose something, you're not taking my whole life away from me. And I got to try to get all those things, reissued. So I don't take a whole bunch of cards with me. It just doesn't make sense. But now I realize that I'm going to have to do better.
Well, you know what? Seriously, you're lucky, because think about when you want to use a debit card here, and they're like, we need your phone bill.
Yeah.
All right.
Now they just took $500.
Yeah. They'd be like, nah, I know I go to Enterprise, we need your phone bill, your mama name, all that. So kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have been your time. Could you go to my house and fax me something?
I know.
No, but seriously, I mean, it's funny, but it's so ironic that was the show we're doing today. Yeah. And that's what happened.
That's what happened. And it's, again, I should have known better. And you just can't assume when you're going, because every place is different. Yep. The people are extremely nice here. And I got lost coming from the rental car place to get to the hotel. I had no clue. I was totally turned around because I was focused on driving on the wrong side of the road and my steering wheel being on the opposite side.
Oh, man.
It takes a minute to get used to that. And so I'm just sitting there and at some point I just said, you know what, Vic, when my phone started beeping that it was dying, I was like, just call the hotel and just stop trying to act like because you're clueless right now. And they kind of directed me on to the place.
I bet the mailman could drive down there real good, though.
The
mail trucks up here, because they will be on the other side.
Yes, but, exactly. It's the same setup.
But seriously, that's a real good lesson. I mean, and particularly, I guess my point being, because you are, and I don't mean this as a crazy, you are a world traveler, and you do more research for travel than anybody I've ever met. I sat here and watched you like, really? Okay. You know, you do your research, but I
Yeah.
guess it just goes to show you can never do enough.
You could
You
never
know,
do
you
enough.
always,
And it's like, even when you just the little things. And again, assuming, and what if I had gotten here and didn't have the money on my card to do that? Believe me, I've been there before. Thank God I'm not there
yeah,
now, but I've been there where, you go someplace and you have just enough for what you need to have it for. And somebody throw a $500 bill in your face. It's like, I can't
yeah,
do that. So
yeah.
it was either, I was like, okay, I need a car. So let's just, okay,
Okay.
that's
Now,
fine.
now the hotel, the hotel did accept or no?
No, they
Did
don't
the hotel?
accept it. But I
Okay,
paid
so
my
you
hotel in advance.
advance. Okay, so you good.
I did. I paid it in advance with American Express so I can get the miles.
Okay,
It's all about the miles.
you know, all kidding straight up.
Yep.
That's
It's all
all.
about the miles because
So,
that's how I get to do a lot of the travel that I do. It's just accumulating miles and, using them in places. Because with the hotel, I got 5 times the miles that I was going to get just by
mm,
booking it using my card.
yeah.
So if you do that enough, it adds up over a year's time. And before you know it, next year you got your travel, at least your transportation part of your travel taken care of because you're collecting miles.
But you know what? As I think about it, had you not had the money on in your debit, you know what you could have done is because they have Uber down there, right?
No.
Ooh. Well, then you know because I know you talked about a cab would be real expensive. But you know
Yes.
what? If it came down to it, you probably a cab would have been your other option.
But then they may not take Amex.
But if you had to put it on your debit, you wouldn't have to worry about that 500. I'm saying if that 500
That's
became
true.
an issue, you know,
That's true.
either that or you've been walking up the side of the highway and that fly white, and that would not be pretty.
Yeah, that's true.
That wouldn't be pretty.
That's true.
All right, let me tell
So
you.
enough of me. Let's
Yeah.
talk about you because you've had some oops on your last. You had 2 vacations where
Yeah.
you kind of had some hiccups, and we need to talk about those hiccups because
Yeah, but see, I'm an amateur, so I'm expecting. Oh, hey Vicky, you like the show?
yeah, yep,
Yeah,
I
okay. All right, okay. Okay, so
cool.
my hiccup, my first hiccup was when I used Airbnb, and I listened to you. I booked it through my Delta, so I got my miles.
Yep.
Okay, so I did all of that.
Uh huh.
What happened was we were going up, and when we planned the trip, we weren't planning to take the dog. So it was like, we didn't even look at that part. Well,
Mhm.
week before we were going, some craziness happened, and we ended up having to take the dog, and we didn't think about it. And we
Hold
got to the
on, hold on. Something's crawling around me. It looks like a iguana. Hold on.
just to prove that you ain't in your backyard trying to front, right? I got on this white. Yeah, ain't no man iguana. I got on this white on. Let's be fair.
Okay, go. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. That just kind of, it took me. Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so we had to take the dog. We didn't we didn't go back and look at anything. We got to the Airbnb. We got there about 11 o'clock at night. 5 of us, me, girlfriend, and 3 kids, 3 other people. We
Mhm.
get in, we go putting our stuff in. The owner of the Airbnb had cameras. So they saw us bring the dog in. We didn't think nothing about it. We just, okay. And then I'll be honest, we got in there and they had the rules. They had them on a piece of paper on the desk, on the table. And that's when we were just going through, okay. And the last one said no pets. It's 11 o'clock at night. We in some city, South Carolina. I mean, like Powder, South Carolina, something that I ain't never heard of. And all of a sudden, I get text messages from Airbnb. And they're like, yo, owner's looking on the camera saying you brought a dog up in there. No pets allowed. So we was like, so we explained it on the phone. Hey, here's what happened. We didn't mean to do it. We're supposed to be here for 2 nights. We'll leave tomorrow. Owner was like, nah, you got to go. It's 11 o'clock at night. We've been in this place literally 10 minutes. And we had to get, it was like, okay, man said, you got to go, got to go. Had to get up. I got the SUV, we loaded it back up. Again, it's 11 o'clock at night. We're out in the middle of nowhere. And luckily, I mean, we went and we drove about a half hour. I mean, I looked for stuff up online. We were looking up stuff online like crazy. But found something online, thank God. And we were able to get a couple of rooms and be done. But what happened was, as a result of that, our 3-day trip became a 2-day trip. So the next day, it was Mother's Day weekend. The next day, we went up. AL, Gerard, some of my high school friends chiming in. But the next day, we just went, by Mother's Day, went from my mother's grave up in Wilmington and drove back. But again, the moral of that story, too, is do your homework.
Do your research.
And you know, I couldn't be mad at the guy. I mean, I gave him a good rating on Airbnb because, I mean, you know, his house, his rules. He said he wanted no pet. I really couldn't. You know, he tried to get me to wanted me to pay half the fee for a cleanup, for deep cleaning. I'm like, you know, we hadn't even taken the sanitized thing off the toilet or nothing. It's like we walked in, and we literally walked in and seen it. It was like, oh snap! All right.
Yeah.
We even said, well, you know, we'll leave the dog in the car because that's what we ended up doing. We found a hotel. We ended up leaving the dog in the car. But
yeah.
was like, nah, so it, you know, but the moral of the story, just like with your situation, do your homework.
Do your homework. It's important because I know when I did a girls trip, the last girls trip I did with my friends, we did an Airbnb, and the house rules were, I mean, they were actually online. And then when we got to the Airbnb, the house rules were right there. And this particular homeowner was like, if you go up and down the stairs, because she had the wooden stairs, you go up and down the stairs, do not walk in flip-flops or shoes that's going to make loud noises because it disturbs the neighbors. And I totally just forgot, came in and was going up the stairs and I heard how loud they were, and I turned around real quick, and I was just like, okay, you know, so you have to adhere to that because that's their rules, it's their home, and you just have to do your research.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I gave the guy a good rating, and I can't bash. I mean, Airbnb was really nice. They really were nice the way they went between them. So he and I never really communicated directly. They were like our go-between, and the woman
that was nice.
Airbnb, she was working. Yeah, she was working hard trying to find us someplace. You know, so I mean, I can't fault them. I can't blame him. I gave him a good rating. Even though we didn't stay in his place, I gave him a good rating. He tried to rip me. He tried to dog me, but his house. But yeah. But again, the moral of the story, you know, you got to do your homework. I mean, we've talked about that in the past, and you mentioned one time, I guess in Saudi Arabia, there are some medications you can't take.
And it's like here, it says on there, I went to their government site before I came here to Turks and Caicos because I wanted to see if I needed a visa, because I didn't assume that I didn't need one because it was the Caribbean. So I went on their site and I realized that I needed an international driving permit, as well as they stated if you have any type of medications that are doctor prescribed, you need to have a prescription for them. In other words, it needs to be in a container with your name on it, the doctor's name on it, and all that, and it needs to match the medication, or they will confiscate it, and depending on whether or not it's an illegal drug, you can get arrested. Wow. So it's like, and it's like that in a lot of countries, and that's why it's important to just drop in on those sites, you know, just to check out what their laws are, so you don't just be unknowingly breaking the law, because we could do it here, you know, in the U.S. and it could be something really simple. So it's important to just look at that stuff. It only took a second, and they had the top 10 things you need to know. And I looked at those top 10 things and I was like, okay. But they don't accept Amex on there though.
you know you're gonna hear about that, right? Because I know you walked up to the counter and you just put that card like, Just
No,
dropped it like the mic.
no,
Bam!
I did.
And they was
I
like,
handed it to him, and I was just like, oh, I felt real small. And then you got all the people that's in line behind you. They're like, "What happened?" I said, "They don't take Amex." And they was like, "Yeah, most places like this don't." I was like, "Okay, my bad."
wait a minute. Did you have your white gloves on when you handed it to him?
No, you see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, let me tell you something. If I'd have been standing there with you, it'd have been like, you might as well
You
go
to
home
laugh.
now. Laugh, I'd have been on the floor. No, but you know what? But on thinking about something, my brother just went on a cruise. I think I told you about it. He went on a Scandinavian cruise, and he
Yes.
went to about 5 or 6 countries. Now that presents an issue because I know he went to Russia and a couple other places. He had these ports of call, and I'm thinking if you go on a cruise, like when you go into different countries, you need to check every one of them countries.
Yes, you do.
You
Yes,
know?
because you can get arrested over something really simple.
Yeah.
And you just can't just assume that because it's okay in these, especially countries like Russia. Come on now. That yeah. I
Oh.
You just really got to get your stuff together when you go there because the laws are so different.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't. We just automatically assume that we good and we got our passport and we got our tickets and we got our hotel. That's all we need. It's a whole lot much more than that because you'll
Mm-hmm.
get there and you'll find yourself in a lot of trouble or, in some uncomfortable situations because you're not prepared for the surprises that you may get because they could happen to anybody. But you just got to make sure that you're prepared for them when they happen.
Well, and I think about, you think about anything can happen. Excuse me. You think about brothers and some, not all, but young boys over here wearing their pants hanging off their behind. Now,
Yes.
imagine you do that in a country where, is that iguana back?
Yes. Yeah.
I see you looking over there like.
Yes. You want to see him? He's just hanging on the tree. And this red thing is coming out of his mouth.
That's his
It
tongue.
may be a woman. I don't know.
That's his tongue.
Okay.
Let me see.
Gotcha.
You on a tripod. Never mind. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You just so everybody know you ain't sitting up in your backyard. I'm in Turks Caicos.
This little garden area is really pretty. Can you see the background? It is gorgeous
beautiful.
out here. Just sitting under a little, huh?
That's your deck.
And then there's there's the pool right there. There's one on this side and there's another one on the other side of my room. So it's really beautiful out here.
Well,
just on the grounds are nice.
Just so you feel better, while we've been on this show, it done started raining up here.
Well, it was raining here earlier, but it only lasted for a few seconds and it was gone. I think it was just to cool everything down.
Nah, we got a torrential downpour right now, all kidding aside.
Well, it's gorgeous here.
It started raining in the last 5 minutes, and now I'm looking out and you can see the water actually running down the street.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, you left on the right time. But anyway, and you were saying.
So what happened? What happened with Disney? Any surprises at Disney?
I think the thing at Disney was, let me think. Nothing really surprised other than that we probably overbought on the tickets. I think we had that talk. I bought 4-day tickets.
Yes.
I bought the 4-day tickets at Disney. We got a real good deal, so I bought the 4-day park hopper tickets. But we could have probably got away with 3 days.
Gotcha.
But it was one of those things. I mean, the extra day was like $25.
Oh wow!
So it was like, in Disney's $100.
Well, that really, if you think about an extra, that's $25 per ticket, or ticket, just
per ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, but Disney is $110, $120 a day. So I really can't say that's, so even if we didn't use that 4th day,
you were still okay.
Yeah, but one thing we did
okay.
learn, and this, you talk about doing research. We did research. We had 5 people were going on the trip. So when we went on the earlier trip, we had the dog with us. We had a SUV. We had a Suburban like EXT or something, you know. This time we had a Caravan, Grand Caravan. That Caravan had more room than that Suburban.
Wow.
And that's crazy when you think a minivan for five. We didn't take the dog on the Disney trip, but there was more room, like that third row of seats. There was more room back there in the Caravan than in the Suburban. And what you realize, we realized, because I mean, the Suburban is, it's like you paint that thing yellow and take it to school, but the Caravan is built for people. It's weird. It's so, I mean, but that's only you know, we went and did research on the cargo space. We had, listening to you, I had reserved both of the vehicles back in January. So I had, you know, both of them had a good price, but I went and did research on the trunk space and all of that. And, you know, news to self. If you got 5 people to take somewhere, don't go with an SUV. You know, especially a long trip. Don't go with an SUV. Go with a minivan. And it sounds crazy, but the minivan was more comfortable. We had to do it was 7 hours approximately each one. But
wow,
anyway,
that's a long drive.
We got about, huh? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So that's a long drive. Yeah. 7 hours is a long drive.
Yeah, but it's a lot. You think about 5 plane tickets.
Yeah.
I rest my
case.
Good
point.
I rest my case. We got about 3 minutes left. We actually got through this. And first of all, I thank you. I seriously thank you. I mean, there's one thing to do this from your house. You're doing this from vacation.
And I wish I could have gone to the beach but it's just, I don't think I would have made it because my phone, I had to charge my phone and I would have had to leave earlier to just walk over there and get a site. So I'm sorry. I wanted to show the beach and how pretty it is.
Let me ask, well, you can take pictures and post them from the beach.
Yes.
But let me ask you this question. So your phone died, on the plane?
No, my phone died while I was lost.
Oh, okay. The car, you didn't bring a car charger?
They don't have the car that I have don't have that little cigarette thingy that you put the charger in. It didn't have one of those.
They don't have a cigarette lighter?
Now, it may have had it. I just couldn't find. Heck, it took me almost an hour to find out how to roll the window down, because it wasn't, you used to the little button being on the door. It was down in the console. I'm like, who does that?
Wait a minute. So you was renting that Testarossa again, huh?
No, it's a little like real little small car, and it drives like you're driving a stick shift. But it took me a minute. I kept saying, where are the window things? Because I wanted to ask for directions, but I couldn't find how to roll the window down. But I did eventually find out. So it may be a cigarette lighter in there. I just don't know where it is.
Well,
because I looked.
You really do travel a lot, huh?
I normally, because I usually do Uber. If I'm someplace where Uber is, I'll get Uber, but Uber is not available here. So I had to just try to figure out how to make it without having to do a cab.
No,
silly.
Seriously. First of all, I really thank you because you're on vacation. But at the same time, the name of the show is Assist Be Going Places. So a sister went someplace. So
Yeah.
And I know we try to do the tour of Atlanta, but we're doing this international thing, so it kind of trumps the tour of Atlanta. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, what I will do is tomorrow. What I do is tomorrow, when I go to the beach and find a good spot and I think it's okay, I'll ping you and maybe we can do a quick show just so I can show you the, the area of the beach. And even if it's, 30 minutes, this went by pretty fast. So I'll just make sure I'm fully charged and I'll ping you first thing tomorrow just to let you know if I'm in a good spot where we can actually chat.
Okay, I'll probably be at church from about 11 to 1. You going to the beach early?
Okay. Probably, I plan to be there before 9.
Okay, so I'm
because I'll go and just kind of set up, and then I'll do service online from the beach.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to the gym, but I'm gonna go early again. So I'll be back home by like 8. So that'll work.
Okay.
But hey, I'm gonna let you go because I know you got a 4:30 appointment with some sand.
Yes.
Yeah, and that American Express story though. Oh yeah, you know you gonna hear about that. You just know. Because I just
don't mean nothing over here. Don't mean nothing over here.
Because I know you had on your big Vicky glasses, and you were just like, bam, and they was like, boom, and you was like, what?
He was like, no, we don't take that. Wow,
like,
what?
They was like, what's that? they get out some spray. I'm sorry, I'm messing with you. But look,
that's funny though.
Hey, yeah, it's funny. You enjoy your vacation. You enjoy it.
Thank you.
I'm going to Texas in 2 days, so we'll catch up later in the week.
Cool. Be safe and enjoy your trip.
All right. I'm not going to call you back right now because you're on vacation.
Yes. Thank you.
We want to go in. All right, Vicky. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Vicky, have a safe and enjoyable trip. Want to hear all about it, and we will talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find past shows on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, or just about anywhere you find fine podcasts and Audible content. If you like the show, please leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. And if you are or know a sister that be going places, get some swag. Hats and tote bags are ready for your next excursion. Go to our Cafe Press store at cafepress.com/asistuhbegoingplaces.